fanciful thing. All this time just wasted thinking I own anything. Humility clothes me from the top of my head, soles of my feet, yeah. Teach me, teach me, show me the way. Hide my face from the wickedness of this world, I pray. Take my hand, protect my heart, hide me in the shadow of your wing. Like a child, see purity in my eyes. Allow me to sit at your feet. Hear me, hear me. Show me your ways, teach me your paths. I'm yielding to your will. Your loving commitment will endow me, surround me in my coming and my going. Cleanse me, purge me. I want to be white as snow, so I may testify of your love to those in search of you. Show me the way. You desire truth, the inward parts you make me know you. Take my hand, casting all my cares, refresh me with the waters of life. Like a child crying softly, forgive me. Allow me to approach your throne. Know me, yeah. Know me. Have mercy upon me, O Elohim, according to your loving kindness. According unto the multitude of your tender mercies, blot out my transgressions. Wash me thoroughly from my iniquity, and cleanse me from my sin. For I acknowledge my transgressions, and my sin is ever before me. Against you, you only, have I sinned, and done this evil in your sight, that you might be justified when you speak, and be clear when you judge. Behold, I was shapen in iniquity, and in sin did my mother conceive me. Behold, you desire truth in the inward parts, and in the hidden part you shall make me to know wisdom. Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Make me to hear joy and gladness, that the bones which you have broken may rejoice. Hide your face from my sins, and blot out all mine iniquities. Create in me a clean heart, O Elohim, and renew a right spirit within me. Cast me not away from your presence, and take not your Holy Spirit from me. Restore unto me the joy of your salvation, and uphold me with your free spirit. Then will I teach transgressors your ways, and sinners shall be converted unto you. Deliver me from blood guiltiness, O Elohim, the Elohim of my salvation, and my tongue shall sing aloud of your righteousness. O Yahuwah, open up my lips, and my mouth shall show forth your praise. For you desire not sacrifice, else I would give it. You delight not in burnt offering. The sacrifices of Elohim are a broken spirit, a broken and a contrite heart. O Elohim, you will not despise. Do good in your good pleasure unto Zion. Build you the walls of Jerusalem. Then shall you be pleased with the sacrifices of righteousness, with burnt offering and whole burnt offering. Then shall they offer bullocks upon thine altar.
Deuteronomy 28. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Most High thy power, to observe and do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Most High God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. But if thou wilt not hearken to the voice of the Most High, to observe and do all his commandments, then curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
All these lies and delusions, wake me up, show me a new dawn. Open your eyes, rise, children of the light. I am awakened, I am awakened.
Seek out the ways of the heathen to make a covenant with Satan's government. Turn their face away from the Most High, evil desire. 2 Kings 17 said they passed their sons and daughters through the fire. They begin cutting divine spiritual ties, clinging through the heathen lies. Evil spirits bind, breaking souls, breaking spirits, ripping flesh, breaking minds. Running from the Most High wrath on the blood-stained path. 70 AD, Israelites fall. The Most High's chosen seed go into captivity. Hebrew Israelites watch nations rise, they watch nations fall. Four beasts, Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greece. We pray for the fall of the fourth beast. Under the iron foot of Rome, we long to go home. A hopeless nation lies dead in the valley of the dry bones. Simulation of Shemites to Hamite clones. Israelites wrong.
All these lies and delusions, wake me up, show me a new dawn. Open your eyes, rise, children of light. I am awakened, I am awakened.
Enslaved to build a wicked nation. No true identity, only tribulations. Fed scraps of swine, we eat the worst of the animal kind. Used, confused, they set us in high places to be abused. Control the tribe, control the tribe. Our leaders take bribes to continue the lies. Fourth beasts behind the scene in the skies, watching with the all-seeing eye. The heathen take flight into a new world order. Hebrews, sleepwalking into a wicked system that's gonna fall. Awake, awake, reject Babylon. Hear the trumpet of awakening throughout the day and night. Awake, the Most High's people, the Israelites. The earth has swallowed the flood of deception. The right for collection. His people are walking, standing like a mighty army. The Most High has summoned, the Hebrews are coming. Awake, come out of captivity. Awake, you who sleep. Arise, receive the Most High's laws and commandments.
All right, I say shalom, 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 shabbat, shalom. All praises to the Most High. Shalom, Israel, far and near. Far and near. Fools, enemies, haters, lovers, whatever you want to be. But most of all, be lovers of the Most High. I say Kwam Yasharallah for this Sabbath day. All right, it's a nice day. A nice day to be in the land of the living. To be living to see the Most High's judgment that He's doing upon Babylon, spiritual Egypt. We see our time in Babylon is dwindling down. That's right. The time is moving faster than we realize, man. Yes. Things are happening rapidly. Events are moving. Things are moving in place. The judgment of the Most High is coming quickly. And I hope that our people wake up to see what the Most High is doing. He's showing us that our 400-year captivity has finally come to an end. Right. And He's bringing that rightful judgment that He said He was going to bring upon the nation that afflicted us. All right, so I want to give all praise to the Most High. And hallelujah, all praises to the Most High. All praises due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushua, HaMashiach. And that we continue to grow in grace and the glory of the Most High. And that we be humble. We strive to enter into the kingdom of the Most High. And that we strive toward that mark, that prize of the calling that Paul spoke about, that we inherit that righteous crown that the Most High has for each and every one of us. And it's beautiful as we see the things being unfolded, that the Most High has awakened us to see His truth, the understanding, and to see the growth, and also to see the judgment that the Most High is going to bring upon Babylon. But as usual, I'm going to start off my class with a Psalms. We're going to go into the book of Psalms. I didn't choose no particular psalm, but I'm just going to randomly choose a Psalms to give the Most High His props. You know what? I'll tell you what. Let's go to the book of Psalms. A real befitting Psalms today. That's going to fit today's go to Psalms. Oh, damn. Don't let up the incense. Song, Brian. Should I put the incense over here, though? All right, let's start with Psalms 58. Psalms 58 and 1. Psalms 58 and 1. You know, open the door to us.
Reading from the book of Psalms, chapter 58, verse 1. Do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men?
All right. So this is the question that David started off his Psalms when he started off the Psalms. But we know directly who this Psalms was being addressed to. It was being addressed to wicked doers and wicked evil men. All right. And he was directly phrasing this towards the wicked, the enemy of the Most High. Continue. Read that verse again.
Do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Verse 2. Yea, in heart ye work wickedness, ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth.
So he says, yea, in heart ye work wickedness, ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. So I mean, they weigh their justice, their so-called justice of violence in the earth, by using their military force, their police actions, their covert activities, whatever power they have, they use those power to weigh the violence in the earth, to put down nations, to judge nations, or to so-called correct nations when they don't fall in line with their policies. Continue.
The wicked are estranged from the womb.
Yeah, so David said the wicked are estranged from the womb. All right? As soon as they come out the womb, they're estranged. All right? They're not about righteousness. They're not about truth. They're not about justice. But they're estranged as soon as they come out from the womb. As soon as they come out from the mommy's womb, a little serpent seed slithering his tongue. Continue.
They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
See, as soon as they're born, that's the first thing they know is how to speak lies and how to utter lies. Continue.
Their poison is like poison of a serpent.
See, their poison, which is their philosophy, their doctrine. Their poison is a poison of what?
Of a serpent.
Of a serpent, a poisonous serpent. Continue.
They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear.
It's like a deaf adder, a poisonous serpent that stoppeth the ear. They don't hear nothing, they don't consider nothing. Only thing they know, they have to filter and push forth their wicked, evil doctrine in the earth. Continue.
Verse 5, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. Break their teeth, O power, in their mouths.
See what David said? David's asking the Most High to break their teeth, O Most High. Break out their teeth. Break their power. Continue.
Break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Most High. Let them melt away as waters which run continually when he bendeth his bow to shoot his arrows. Let them be as cut in pieces.
So David is asking the Most High to destroy the enemy. Okay? That's what David is asking the Most High to do. And that's what we should be doing as a people. Asking the Most High to destroy our enemy. Continue.
Verse 8, as a snail which melteth, let every one of them pass away, like the untimely birth of a woman, that they may not see the sun.
He's asking the Most High to curse and destroy them. You see what I said? Like the birth of a what? Of an untimely? Read that part again.
All right. Like the untimely birth of a woman, that they may not see the sun.
Just like a woman giving untimely birth to a child, to a premature child. David is asking the Most High to destroy him. Continue.
Before your pots can fill the thorns, he shall take them away as with a whirlwind, both living and his wrath. The righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance.
Stop right there. So David said, the righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. So are we supposed to rejoice when the Most High bring vengeance? Yes. Because the Most High is bringing a righteous judgment upon our enemies. So David said, the righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. Go ahead.
He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked.
Oh, hear that? We shall wash our feet in the blood of the wicked. Go ahead.
So that a man shall say, verily, there is a reward for the righteous. Verily, he is a power that judges in the earth.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And that's what the righteous is going to say when the Most High bring his judgment. All right? So today's topic is like it says in the heading of the class, the fall of Babylon is falling quicker than we realize. All right? And I was pulling up some events of things that was taking place for this week, last week. And it was a lot of events that was popping up that's showing real rapidly. And one of them that I saw when I was reading, I saw in the Post paper, they had in the Post, I'm going to read it right here. I'm going to Shaquat read this real quick. Showing you how the Most High is rapidly declining the system. All right, and one of the posts was this here. Read this here, Shaquat.
Which one?
Top one. All right. Okay, it's gonna come on.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's read the topic and then read a few of the paragraphs.
So the topic is frustrated NYC detectives leaving insane NYPD have had enough.
Right. So the NYPD detectives are retiring and leaving the force. And they said just for the month of June alone, there's been over 100 detectives retiring or resigning from the police force. So read this part here now.
All right. More than 100 NYPD detectives have retired in June, and another 75 plan to put their papers in next month. As many become frustrated by revolving door justice and rules that hamstring them in the Big Apple, officials and detectives told the Post. That's going to have a major impact on investigating crimes. Detectives Endowment Association President Paul, I can't pronounce his last name. The detective squads are down now as we speak and are investigating more cases. It's going to have an impact on public safety.
Right. So it's going to have an impact on public safety. Now, these are all signs of a diminishing kingdom that's faltering and that's declining. When you have your law enforcement that's retiring at a rapid rate, that's going to cause more crime, more violence. It's going to lead more to civil unrest, civil upheaval, and it's going to lead to anarchy in this society. Now, that's one segment, right? And we're going to go into scripture and show you about that too. That's the law enforcement that's resigning, right? Now, from here, go to this next one here now. I want to show you the next topic. This one right here. This one here. So this was from YouTube by a sister named Lisa Cabrera. And she has some very good topics. Okay, it's called, read the topic right here, the headline.
Okay, so the topic is watch companies have announced job cuts and hiring freezes due to recession fears on YouTube.
Right. So due to the recession fears, companies are laying off and they are not hiring. All right. And we know that goes in the scripture. The Most High said in Isaiah 19, there shall be no work for Egypt. Now, there's another story I want to show here too now. So a lot of events that's taking place here. So another one here. This was a major story dealing with the airlines. Read this one here. It says Delta.
Delta Post lost 17,000 employees opt for buying.
Right. So this happened last year. 17,000 Delta workers opt out, either resigned or retired from working with Delta, which is causing a major effect in the airline industry. There's lack of workers, pilots. Pilots are going on strike. All right. Flights are being canceled daily. Because I know I work for the airline. I work for the airport. And it's a lot of cancellations with American Airlines, with Delta. It's a whole lot of madness, man. And it's a whole lot of work problems. So when I was doing the flight, so the flight attendant said, it's a busy day today. I said, man, I said, it's busy. I said, it's a lot of work. She said, I know. She said, she's telling me all over. It's lack of workers in the industry. And it's causing a backlog of a lot of flights and cancellations. And it's going to create a lot of problems. All right. And when the airlines can't make no money, it causes the economy to go down. All right. And then the cost of diesel fuel is going up.
Right.
All right. And then I'm going to show you another incident I want to show you about the diesel. About the diesel situation too. It's a whole lot of problems hitting this country, man. A whole lot of civil problems. All right, let me show you this one here. I'm gonna read this one here, and then we're gonna go into the scripture and show you what's causing these things. Shaquat, read this one here. I don't know if I can open big enough. It's called the economic collapse. Right?
What what am I about to share with you is a developing situation, and I hope to share more once the facts become clearer.
So start from the top up here.
Let me start.
Yeah.
All right.
Economic collapse.
Okay. A woman about the coming shortages of diesel fuel, diesel exhaust fluid, and diesel engine oil. What I am about to share with you is a developing situation.
This is a developing situation that's happening now, statewide. Okay, continue.
And I hope to share more once the facts become clear. It appears that a very serious diesel crisis is coming in the months ahead.
See, a diesel crisis is coming in the months ahead. And that's going to cause a major problem with the shipment of food.
Right.
There's a backlog of the chain supply, okay, that uses diesel, the trucks, all right? Continue.
And that will have a dramatic impact on our economy. As you will see below, we are being warned that there will be shortages.
See, there's going to be shortage. Now, these were all manufactured and made up by the elite rulers of this society. They engineered these problems. Continue, go ahead.
Of diesel fuel, diesel exhaust fluid, and diesel engine oil. Most diesel vehicles require all three in order to run, and so a serious shortage of any of them would be a major disaster.
Now the planes use kerosene. All right? All these things come from oil, but it's broken down to different process. Diesel, kerosene, and gasoline for cars and trucks. So it's a process that they use. That's a smart, ingenious way with how they did these things, man. How they broke down the process of the oil for diesel, for kerosene, all right? Because jet fuel only uses
simultaneous shortages of all three could potentially be catastrophic.
Right, it's going to be catastrophic. Continue.
Most Americans don't spend much time thinking about diesel, but without it, our supply chains collapse.
See, without diesel, the supply chain will collapse, and that's what's happening. There's a backlog of the supply chain.
Wow.
All right, those big tankers, I think they use diesel fuel too. All right, go ahead.
And we don't have a functioning economy. In a recent Time magazine article discussing the coming diesel fuel shortage, we are told that the U.S. economy runs on diesel.
Right, the U.S. economy runs off of diesel, all right? Oil, okay? Oil is the bloodline of America. Without oil, this country will collapse. And see, and the Most High is so good how he set everything up. That's why the Most High said he's going to drag them down. He's going to drag them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. All right? Because it's going to boil down to the oil. To get that resource of the oil to fuel the economy. All right? And there was something else I wanted to show you here too. Let me see if I pull it up. But this is good for now. Let's go into the scriptures and show you why these things are happening. Okay? Because the elite rulers of this earth, they work for Satan. Satan is their direct boss. But the overall boss for the elite rulers, Satan is who? The Most High. The Most High. He is the big CEO. He's the owner of the corporation. And they're following the dictates of the Most High. But Satan is the middleman that dictates and puts the information into the minds of the ruling elites. The ruling elites gets their information from Satan, directly from Satan.
Right.
He communicates with them and tell them what to do in the earth. All right? Let's go to the book of Revelation, the 6th chapter. Because everything that's happening in the earth is part of the plans that the elites is doing through the working of Satan. Satan puts out the dictates and the information to the elites and said, listen, you have to artificially engineer and create a crisis And in doing that, it fulfills prophecy. They think that they're doing it on their own accord, but what they're doing is fulfilling the prophecies of the Most High.
That's right.
All right? So, but hold that first, and let's go to the book of Job 12 and 6. And also get Psalms, the 17th chapter. I want to show you something. Because there are movers and shakers in the earth that are working off of divine guidance that we don't see or understand. People might say, yeah, it's a conspiracy. They're deliberately doing these things. But they're doing it because they have orders from the Most High through Satan. This is what people don't understand. All right? So let's go to first what? Psalms, what I told you?
Job 12 and 6.
Job 12 and 6. Read Job 12 and 6.
Reading from the book of Job, chapter 12, verse 6. The tabernacles of robbers prosper.
Okay, so who are the tabernacles of robbers? The elite rulers, financiers, bankers, the elite, the oligarchs, the plutocrats. Okay? So the tabernacle of robbers, read again.
The tabernacle of robbers prosper.
So the tabernacles of robbers prosper. Go ahead.
And they that provoke the Most High are secure.
And they that provoke the Most High are secure. How do they provoke the Most High? They think they're doing this on their own accord and that they have their own agenda, what they call the New World Order. They think that they're doing their New World Order is of their own agenda. Okay, go ahead.
Into whose hand the Most High bringeth abundantly.
Into whose hand the Most High bringeth abundantly. The Most High gave them the resources and the control of the earth. All the resources, the wealth is given into the hands of the wicked. That's why the Most High said the wicked controls the earth. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Now from there go to Psalm 17. But go to Psalms the 9th chapter first. Psalms the 9th chapter.
Elder, you have someone, Huey Vanderveer. There has been a lot of food and meat plants that have been burnt down.
Right. George's right. That's right. I was going to touch on that too. Thank you very much. I was going to bring that up too. One of them is called George's. Let me see if I pull it up. Yeah. Thank you for reminding me, brother. Yeah. It was right. I have it right. That's the one I was going to bring up too. I knew it was something else. To water, bro. To water. It was called George's. Let me put it up right here. All right, read this here for me, Shaquat. Okay. Right. And read the name of it, what it's called.
It said Tennessee Food Processing Plant closing, 200 jobs lost.
See, 200 jobs lost.
Wow.
And this food company is called George's. And this is one of the many food processing plants that are being closed, burnt, or deliberately destroyed.
Wow.
Continue.
It say Caryville, Tennessee. Officials with a food processing plant, George's Prepared Foods, announced they were closing their Caryville location, leaving nearly 200 people jobless. It say Campbell County Mayor E.L. Morton told WVLT News that he was trying to keep the plant open.
Right. He's not gonna keep it open. Okay. He's just he's just a low dangling puppet. He has no power. Okay. Once the elite said close the plant, he has to close it. Okay. The elites are calling the shots in this earth. Okay. And what people is gonna find out, America is not no damn democracy, okay?
Right,
don't believe that bull crap. Oh, it's not democratic. No. America is ran by plutocrats, oligarchs, hidden ruling elite families that runs this whole show.
That's right.
They tell your politicians what to do.
Right.
Okay? Don't that's an illusion. Oh, it's a democratic society. That's what they want you to believe while they have an agenda behind the scene.
Right.
All right? So what I told you to get after that?
Psalms 9.
Psalms the 9th chapter. I'm gonna show Psalms 9 and start here from the 15th verse.
Reading from the book of Psalms, chapter 9, verse 15. The heathen are sunk down in the pit that they made.
See, the pit that they made, they're going to sink into that pit. They made a pit for us too. But the Most High is reversing that pit now for them to fall into that pit. Continue.
In the net which they hid is their own foot taken.
So it says, in the net which they hid is their own foot taken. They're going to be caught into their own snares and traps.
All praises.
Okay? So they dug a hole.
Right.
And they're going to fall into that ditch.
All praises.
Okay? So the same traps that they set for us, they're going to fall into that trap.
Right.
Continue.
The Most High is known by the judgment which he executed. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands.
See, the wicked is going to be snared in the works of his own hands. The things that he is doing to the earth, he's going to be snared into those things. Continue.
Selah. The wicked shall be turned into hell.
The wicked shall be turned to hell. They're going to be destroyed. They're going to be brought down. Continue.
And all the nations that forget the Most High.
And all the nations that forget the Most High have the same fate. Continue.
For the needy shall not always be forgotten.
See, who's the needy? We're not always going to be forgotten by the Most High.
Right. Right.
But the Most High has shown us he's doing these things for us to bring in our righteous kingdom and to bring the wicked down.
Right.
Continue.
The expectation of the poor shall not perish forever.
See that? The expectation of the poor shall not perish forever. We're not going to perish forever.
Right. Right.
We have a final expectation, but it's not to be perished in this setup. It's to bring us out of this hell that we in.
Right.
Continue.
Arise, O Most High, let not man prevail. Let the heathen be judged in thy sight. Put them in fear, O Most High, that the nations may know themselves to be but men.
And that's what the Most High is going to let them know, that you just men. You're not no God. You're not the supreme power. The Most High is going to let you know you just a man that's following my orders. Okay? Go from there to Psalms, the 17th chapter. Psalm 17. Now I want to show you something else too. And then from there, go to, we'll move around real quick. Go to Jeremiah. After you read Psalm 17, start from the 9th verse.
Jeremiah.
No, read Psalm 17 first.
Okay. And 9.
Yeah.
Reading from the book of Psalms, chapter 17, verse 9. From the wicked that oppress me, from my deadly enemies who compass me about. They are enclosed in their own fat.
What is their own fat? Their own fat is their own wealth, power, and rulership in the earth. Okay? That's their fat. Their fat is not saying that they're fat out of shape. They're fat in the resources and the wealth and the power that they have in the earth that nobody else has. Continue.
With their mouth they speak proudly.
With their mouth they speak proudly. Oh, we're the greatest people. We dictate what the nations need. Without us, you can't survive. There's no God. If there's a God, where is he? Okay, they speak proudly. Continue.
They have now compassed us in our steps.
So it says, they have now compassed us in our steps. They have surpassed us in our steps, in everything that we do and think. They have compassed us. Continue.
They have set their eyes bowing down to the earth.
So they have set themselves like, so they look at you like, who are you? You're nobody. So they set themselves bound down to the earth like as if they're gods, as if they're rulers forever. Continue.
Like as a lion that is greedy of his prey, and as it were a young lion lurking in secret places. Arise, O Most High, disappoint him.
See what David is saying? David is saying, now arise, O Most High, and disappoint him. And that's what the Most High is doing now. He's starting to disappoint the devices of the wicked.
Right.
Hold that real quick and go to Job 12 again. Job 12. The Most High said he disappointed the devices of the wicked. Job 12 and start here from give me 1 second. It said right here, disappointed devices of the wicked. Second, I just had it and I lost it. Wow. Okay, go back there. It's gonna come back to me. I just lost it. Go back to where you was. Yeah.
All right. Psalm 17.
Yeah.
And 13. Arise, O Most High, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword, from men which are thy hand, O Most High.
Okay, see what David said? Read that part again.
From men which are thy hand.
From men which are the Most High's hand. Now you might say, how could man be the Most High's hand? What David is saying, the Most High uses these men as his whipping tool and his power in the earth to do his bidding. Read that verse again so slow so people understand what it's saying.
From men which are thy hand, O Most High, from men of the world.
From men of the world. Who are the men of these world? The elite, the rulers of this society, the unseen rulers that you don't see. Continue.
Which have their portion in this life.
Which have their portion in this life. What is their portion? Wealth, power, military power, political power, control of the resources. Continue.
And whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure.
And whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure. Their belly is what? It's not talking about their physical belly. It's talking about their resources, their banks. All right? Whose belly thou filled with thy hid treasures. What are the hid treasures? Gold, silver, diamond, oil. Okay? Plutonium. Amount of raw resources that the earth has is in their control. Continue.
They are full of children and leave the rest of their substance to their babies. As for me, I will behold thy face in righteousness. I shall be satisfied when I awake with thy likeness.
All right. So what I do to get after that? Jeremiah, right? Go to Jeremiah. Jeremiah 25. I want to show you something right here. How the Most High uses nations or people to control the earth. One second. Okay, start from Jeremiah 25 and start from start from Jeremiah 25. Start from the 8th verse. Jeremiah 25 and 8.
Reading from the book of Jeremiah, chapter 25, verse 8. Therefore, thus saith the Most High of hosts, because ye have not heard my words, behold, I will send and take all the families of the north, saith the Most High.
So all the families of the north represented Nebuchadnezzar, his sons, his grandsons, and his whole entire family. All right? The Most High was going to use them for a particular reason, to show Israel that I use men to control the earth and the resources and the people, just like he's using Esau today to run and control the affairs of the earth. Read that verse again.
Behold, I will send and take all the families of the north, saith the Most High, and Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant.
So the Most High called him his servant, because the Most High was going to use him, just like he's using Esau today and the elites to do what they're doing in the earth today. Continue.
And will bring them against this land and against the inhabitants thereof and against all these nations round about, and will utterly destroy them.
So the Most High used Nebuchadnezzar and brought him against Israel and against all the other nations, and he brought these nations down, and he brought us down by the hands of Nebuchadnezzar. So meaning the Most High doesn't have to come down all the time and do his bidding.
Right.
The Most High said, listen, hey, yo, you, Nebuchadnezzar, come here.
Right.
I'm going to use you, and you're going to be my hand to whip and put these nations and Israel in order. Do as I say. Go ahead. And the Most High put it in him. Oh, man, wow. Hold that. Go to Job. Go to the book of Job. Hold up real quick. Go to Job 33. Book of Job, the 33rd chapter. Job 33, and start here from the 14th verse.
All right. Read it from the book of Job, chapter 33, verse 14. For the Most High speaketh once.
Yeah, the Most High speaketh once. Go ahead.
Yeah, twice.
The Most High, yeah, twice. Go ahead.
Yet man perceiveth not.
Man doesn't hear. Man doesn't perceive. Man doesn't hear nothing. So the Most High said, okay, you can't hear what I'm going to tell you? Okay, I got another way of doing it. Go ahead.
In a dream, in a vision of the night.
See, in a dream, in a vision of the night, go ahead.
When deep sleep falleth upon man.
So the Most High said, when you sleeping and you resting now I have your attention now. When you sleeping, now I got your attention. Now I'm going to seal my instructions in you, what I want you to do. Go ahead.
And slumberings upon the bed. Then he openeth the ears of man.
See, the Most High said, then he opened the ears of man. Then he opened your understanding. Go ahead.
And sealeth their instructions.
And he sealeth their instructions. Then the Most High gives you his instructions, what he wants you to do in the earth. Go ahead.
That he may withdraw man from his purpose.
That he may turn man away from what he think he's going to do. Go ahead.
And hide pride from man.
All right. And that's why the Most High also, so when you go to the book of Proverbs 20:24, man's goings are of the Most High. How then should man understand his own ways? Right? The Most High is the one that directs your step when he wants you to do his bidding. Whether it's righteous or wicked. Okay? Now go back to Jeremiah 25.
We have Banyamyan. Banyamyan had made
A comment?
Yeah, he made a comment.
Banyamyan, kwame ashura Banyamyan. Go ahead.
He said, Job 5:12.
Right, he disappointed the devices of the crafty, right? Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Read that for me real quick. Yeah, Job. To water Banyamyan. That's it. Yeah. Banyamyan. It runs in the family, huh? Job 5:12. To water Banyamyan. Yeah, that's the one I wanted. Yeah.
Reading from the book of Job, chapter 5, verse 12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty.
So the Most High said, he disappointed the devices of the crafty. Go ahead.
So that their hands cannot perform their enterprise.
So that their hands cannot perform their own enterprises. Go ahead.
He taketh the wise in their own craftiness.
He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, what they've imagined to do. Go ahead.
And the counsel of the froward is carried headlong.
And the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. He just destroys their counsel. There's more to it?
Verse 14.
What it says?
It says, they meet with darkness in the daytime and grope in the noonday as in the night.
Right, so they're searching and seeking for solutions for their problems. Now go back to water bunch and go back to Jeremiah. And let's show you how the Most High is using the elites to bring about these events in the earth. All right? And it's going to lead up to what? Famine, death, food shortages. All right? All these events are going to lead up to what? To the book of Revelation, the 6th chapter. The black horse, the white horse, the red horse. All right? That's riding into town. Death, destruction, and famine. So finish Jeremiah 25, what verse you left off in. Okay, read the 9th verse again. Jeremiah 25:9.
Reading from the book of Jeremiah, chapter 25, verse 9. Behold, I will send and take all the families of the north, saith the Most High, and Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant. And I will bring them against this land, and against the inhabitants thereof, and against all these nations round about, and will utterly destroy them, and make them an astonishment, and an hissing, and perpetual desolation.
And that's what the Most High did. He used Nebuchadnezzar to bring Nebuchadnezzar against all the nations. Even Egypt, he took down Egypt. He took us down, and all nations. Go ahead.
Moreover, I will take from them the voice of mirth, and the voice of gladness, and the voice of bridegroom, and the voice of the bride, the sound of the millstones, and the light of the candle.
So that's what the Most High was doing. He was using Nebuchadnezzar to diminish the nations. Continue.
And this whole land shall be a desolation and an astonishment. And these nations shall serve the king of Babylon 70 years.
See, not only us alone, but all the nations served the king of Babylon for 70 years. I remember we were into captivity under Babylon for 70 years. 70 years in Babylon. Continue.
And it shall come to pass, when 70 years are accomplished, that I will punish the king of Babylon.
So the Most High said, yeah, Nebuchadnezzar, I use you to do my bidding, but when your time is up, I'm going to judge and punish you, just like he's going to do to America. Okay? So if the Most High judge and punish Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar, what make you think he's not going to judge and punish America? That did worse than Babylon. Continue. Go ahead.
That nation, saith the Most High, for their iniquity in the land of the Chaldeans, and will make it perpetual desolations. And I will bring upon that land all my words which I have pronounced against it, even all that is written in this book, which Jeremiah hath prophesied against all the nations.
And Jeremiah prophesied against all the nations. Continue.
For many nations and great kings shall serve themselves of them also, and I will recompense them according to their deeds, and according to the works of their own hands. For thus saith the Most High, power of Israel, unto me, take the wine cup of this fury at my hand, and cause all the nations to whom I send thee to drink it.
So Jeremiah was going to send this out to all the nations, that wine cup. That's the Most High fury. Continue.
And they shall drink and be moved and be mad because of the sword that I will send among them. Then took I the cup at the Most High's hands, and made all the nations to drink, unto whom the Most High has sent me.
And when you look at it today, that's the same that's going to happen today all over again. Continue.
To wit, Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, and the kings thereof, and the princesses thereof, to make them a desolation and astonishment, and hissing and a curse, as it is this day. Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
So you said Pharaoh, king of Egypt. The Most High is going to bring a judgment against Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. Go ahead.
And his servants, and his princes, and all his people.
Go ahead.
And all the mingled people, and all the kings of the land of Uz.
Right, the Edomites, all right? The Arabs that was down in that era, okay? Because further down south, you had Arabs in that era, close to Saudi Arabia, all right? Uz is in the land of Jordan, and right next to Jordan is where? Saudi Arabia. Continue, go ahead.
And all the kings of the land of the Philistines.
The Philistines, go ahead.
And Ashkelon.
Go ahead.
And Azaz, and Ekron, and the remnant of Ashdod.
All these were Philistines, Hamitic families that was living in the land during that time. Continue.
Edom and Moab.
The Edomites, the Moabites, go ahead.
And the children of Ammon.
And the children of Ammon, go ahead.
And all the kings of Tyrus, and all the kings of Zidon, and the kings of the isles which are beyond the sea, Dedan, and Tema, and Buz, and all that are in the uttermost corners. And all the kings of Arabia.
All the kings of Arabia, Saudi Arabia, all right, Yemen, okay, Qatar, all those areas. Before it was, the whole area was known as Arabia. It wasn't also known as Yemen. Well, Yemen was there, okay, but it wasn't called Yemen. It wasn't also as Qatar, Arab Emirates. The whole thing was known as Arabia, the land of Arabia, or the land of Ishmael. Continue.
And all of the kings of Salah, and all the kings of the mingled people that dwell in the desert.
which were the children of Ishmael, also of Keturah, the children that came up from Ishmael. I mean, from Abraham, Keturah, and Ishmael. Okay, because Abraham had two sons besides Isaac. He had Ishmael, and also he had Midian, which came from Keturah, and all of them were dwelling in the area of Arabia. Continue.
And all the kings of Zimri, and all the kings of Elam, and all the kings of the Medes, and all the kings of the north, far and near, one with another, and all the kingdoms of the world, which are upon the face of the earth, and the king of Shishak shall drink after them.
So what the Most High was showing you right here, that he sets up rulers to rule the earth. And when these rulers are set up to rule, they have dominion and authority over all the nations of the earth. They control the affairs and the policies. They control the resources. Bring it up today now. Who's in control of the earth today? Esau. And what do he do to all the nations? He dictates his policies and what he wants in the earth. He sets in his military, set up his military bases, and he tells the nation what must be done. But he tells you, oh, it's democratic. No. He uses covert operations. Continue.
Therefore thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith the Most High of Hosts, the power of Israel, Drink ye and be drunken, and spew and fall, and rise no more.
Okay, now from there, go to Jeremiah 27. And this is the point that I want to show. Jeremiah 27, and start from the 4th verse. Jeremiah 27 and 4. Now listen good to what the scripture is saying here. Jeremiah 27 and 4. Go ahead.
And command them to say.
Actually, you know what? Start from the first verse. Let's start from the first verse.
Reading from the book of Jeremiah, chapter 27, verse 1. In the beginning of the reign of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah.
Now, this was an Israelite king. This was an Israelite king that was reigning. All right? So while he was reigning, we had our own sovereign land. The Most High was raising up the king of Babylon to punish Israel. Continue.
Came this word unto Jeremiah from the Most High, saying, Thus saith the Most High to me, Make thee bonds and yokes, and put them upon thy neck.
So the Most High told Jeremiah, make thee bonds and yokes, and put them around your necks. So the Most High was symbolically telling Jeremiah, listen, when you make those bonds and yokes, it's not merely for you, but it's a symbol and a sign that these bonds and yoke was going to be upon the children of Israel and their kings for their disobedience against me. Continue.
And send them to the king of Edom, and to the king of Moab, and to the king of the Ammonites, and to the king of Tyrus, and to the king of Zidon, by the hand of the messengers which come to Jerusalem unto Zedekiah king of Judah. And command them to say unto their masters, Thus saith the Most High, the power of Israel, Thus shall ye say unto their masters, I have made the earth.
The Most High said, I have made the earth. Go ahead.
The man and the beast that are upon the ground.
The man, the beast that are upon the ground. Go ahead.
By my great power and by my outstretched arm, and have given it unto whom it seemed meet unto me.
So the Most High said, and given the earth unto whom it seemed meet unto me. The Most High said, I did this to whom I see fit to give the earth to rule for a set dispensation of time. So now the Most High was going to use Nebuchadnezzar to run the affairs of the earth at this particular time. And the reason why I'm showing this, because I'm bringing it up to today's point where you have the ruling elites that runs this earth, that dictates the policies in the earth, that set the agendas in the earth. And you think, oh man, but the Most High is using them to bring forth his prophecies and his judgment in the earth for his purpose. All right, continue.
And now have I given all these lands into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant, and the beasts of the field.
The Most High said, even the beasts of the field is going to be in subjugation to him. Just like Esau, he has the animals in subjugation today. Who else goes out there and say, well, the lion, and tells you the history of the lion, the hyenas, and all these different creatures. And he's doing experiment. He has them in zoos. He's going under the ocean. Well, the shark is a very predator animal. Who goes out there and do all these research for the animals today?
Right.
And could tell you when the animals mate, what he likes, what he doesn't like. Esau does that today. All right? So the Most High gave that power back then to Nebuchadnezzar for him to be in, for the beast to be in subjugation to him. Just like Esau subjugates the beast today. He controls the beast. You could pull up anything about any beast, and Esau could tell you information about a beast. He could tell you about a hippopotamus. Any beast you want to know, he could tell you. He could give you the information about it.
Good.
But he goes into his medical and Latin terminology about the beast, and tells you where he lives, what he likes, when he mates. He gives you the whole history.
Right.
You want to put up a lion, he'll tell you, well, the lion, the male lion doesn't grow no, the female doesn't grow no mane, but the male lion grows a mane. The male lion mates 100 times a day. How he knows that? Because he did the research, he studied the animals.
Good.
All right? So he knows the makeup and study of all these animals, and he has it in classification. All right? He calls the dog what? The canine family. He calls the cat the what? The feline family. All right? But he calls it in what? The Latin terminology that he uses for the specification of all the animals. So he has that history down pat. Okay? You go and see, you want to know about a shark. I don't know about a shark because I ain't dealing with no shark. But he's in the water swimming with a shark, under the shark belly, next to the shark. Who does that? You understand? He's out there with a bear, a grizzly bear. He's monitoring the grizzly bear for a whole year. The history, the movements of the grizzly bear. All right? He's out there monitoring a piranha, a poisonous snake.
Good.
We don't do that. You understand?
Good.
Okay, go ahead.
And it shall come to pass that the nation and kingdom which will not serve the same Nebuchadnezzar.
So the Most High said, and all the nations shall serve him. And read that part again.
And it shall come to pass.
What verse you in?
Verse 8.
Okay, read again.
And it shall come to pass that the nation and kingdom which will not serve the same Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, and that will not put their neck under the yoke of the king of Babylon.
See, and the nation that will not put their yokes under the yoke of the king of Babylon, that will not surrender or submit to the king of Babylon. Go ahead.
That nation will I punish.
The Most High said, I'm going to punish that nation. And how the Most High was going to punish that nation? By using Nebuchadnezzar. And Nebuchadnezzar was a beast when it came to punishing those nations, man. Okay? When the Most High put the spirit in a ruler or a nation to punish nation, they go in viciously, man. Okay? Prime example. When Esau brought us in slavery, Esau didn't play with us, man. He went in viciously. Okay? When you read the history of the slave breaker, that dude was a vicious, bad dude, man. He broke that Negro in. When he finished, that Negro submitted, man. Okay? It wasn't like, hell no. He broke that Negro in. And the example he gave is when he would tie a Negro to a horse. 2 horses, and will pull that Negro and stretch him and break his bones up, man. And he made examples of us in slavery, man.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So the Most High had to put that vicious spirit in Esau to break us, man.
Right.
The Most High said, I will break your pride. Okay? And the Most High, he broke our pride by using this beast, man. Okay? This beast did, man, things that, what we know is just an inkling. But the things that we don't know, oh my goodness, man. Man, if we know what this man did to us, man, right now, you might just go out there and just get a damn gun and start killing every Edomite. If you really knew the things that he did to us, man. Okay? And he was vicious to us, man. And you know what he did alligator bait to? Fed us to alligators, used as bait for alligators, man. All right? So let's continue.
That nation will I punish, said the Most High, with the sword and with famine. and with the pestilence, until I have consumed them by his hand.
See, by his hand, by the hand of Nebuchadnezzar. Continue.
Therefore hearken not ye to your prophets, nor to your diviners, nor to your dreamers, nor to your enchanters, nor to your sorcerers, which speak unto you, saying, Ye shall not serve the king of Babylon.
So we had Israelite leaders amongst us who are saying, you're not going to slavery. Don't listen to Jeremiah. He doesn't know what he's talking about. You safe, you good, man. Nebuchadnezzar's not going to come and destroy you. And that's what you have in today's society too. America's not going to be destroyed. Those guys don't know what they're talking about. These Israelites, these guys are just hate mongers. They don't know what the Bible is saying. They're cherry picking scriptures.
Right.
God would never destroy America. That's what they're telling you. But we're telling you the Most High is going to destroy this beast.
Right.
It's going down.
Right.
But they was telling Israel back then, no, don't believe Jeremiah. He doesn't know what he's saying. He's an old fool. But the Most High brought Nebuchadnezzar up against us and all nations. And when it happened, Israel was amazed. They were shocked. Continue.
For they prophesy a lie unto you, to remove you far from your land, and that I should drive you out, and ye should perish. But the nations that bring their neck under the yoke of the king of Babylon and serve him, those will I let remain still in their own land.
So the Most High said, but those nations that serve him, all right, and that bring themselves under the yoke of the king of Babylon, he said, those nations, I will let them remain still in their own land, saith the Most High, and they shall till it and dwell therein. The Most High said, you're gonna be allowed to dwell in your land if you give yourself up under the yoke of Nebuchadnezzar. And the Most High was showing his power, that he could use man in the earth to do his bidding.
Right.
That's how the Most High operates. The Most High operates on a physical, spiritual, and a highly divine level that you can't perceive.
Right.
The Most High is beyond our comprehension of how he does things. Continue.
Verse 12. I spake also to Zedekiah, king of Judah, according to all these words.
So
saying,
Jeremiah spoke to Zedekiah the king. And what Zedekiah the king was saying, Jeremiah, you're an old fool, man. We're not going to listen to you. You don't know what you're talking about. Because Israel was full of pride. We had a lot of pride. We ain't got to serve no king of Babylon. We're a sovereign nation. We're God's chosen people. Back then we knew that. We're God's chosen. We're not going to serve no nation. Yeah? But the Most High said, okay, I'm going to show you. Go ahead. So Jeremiah went to speak to Zedekiah about this thing here. And the king refused to listen. Continue.
Bring your necks under the yoke of the king of Babylon, and serve him and his people, and live.
See what Jeremiah told him? Bring yourself under the yoke of the king of Babylon and live. Go ahead.
Why will ye die, thou and thy people, by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence, as the Most High has spoken against the nation that will not serve the king of Babylon? Therefore hearken not unto the words of the prophets that speak unto you, saying, Ye shall not serve the king of Babylon, for they prophesy a lie unto you. For I have not sent them, saith the Most High, yet they prophesy a lie in my name, that I might drive you out, and that ye might perish, ye and the prophets that prophesy unto you. Salah.
Okay, now jump down here to all right, that's it. Now from there, go to Revelation, the 6th chapter. Now I'm going to show you something here in Revelation, the 6th chapter. Revelation, the 6th chapter, right? Now let's look and now bring it up to today's point of view now. And we're going to see what the Most High was doing here in Revelation, the 6th chapter. Because in Revelation, the 6th chapter here, the Most High is using the powers that be in the earth to bring about these things. Start from the first verse.
Reading from the book of Revelations, chapter 6, verse 1. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard as it were the noise of thunder. One of the 4 beasts saying, Come and see. And I saw, and behold, a white horse.
So all this white horse represents power. Power in the earth. Unseen and seeing powers in the earth. That's working in the earth to bring about these different social or civil changes in the earth. Continue.
And he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer.
And that's what they're doing now. They're conquering, and they're conquering to bring forth their new world agenda. The new world order is for the elites to set up their new world order where the whole entire earth is enslaved to them, and they're controlling everything. Right? All the resources of the earth is going to be under their control. That's their mindset and their ultimate goal. To have all nations, especially the children of Israel, forever in slavery under them. And to have a world where the Most High is not ruling, but Satan is the main God that's ruling this earth. That's their agenda, their new world order. That's the aims and the goals that they're moving towards to now.
Right.
That's right.
Continue.
And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, Come and see. And there went out another horse that was red.
So these are all forces, power in the earth, rulers, right? Under the guidance of Satan. Continue.
And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth.
And that's what's happening now. Peace is taken from the earth. There's no peace in the earth. And peace is not coming. More wars is coming.
Right.
That's right.
Continue.
And that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword.
Continue.
And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, Come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse.
And that black horse represents what?
Death.
Death. Famine. Okay? Death and famine. That's the stage that we're moving into now.
Right.
The stage of famine.
Right.
And it's coming. Continue.
And he that sat on him had a pair of balances
And balances represents judgment.
Right.
Okay? Continue.
in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, A measure of wheat.
A measure of wheat. So food is going to be what? Ration.
Right.
To a certain level. Okay? And it's going to name the food that's going to be ration. Because it's coming. It might not seem like it, but it's building up to that. That backlog with the food supply, no baby formulas, that's all a build up to what's coming in the earth. Continue.
A measure of wheat for a penny.
A measure of wheat for a penny. Wheat is going to be ration. Okay? And what do you get from wheat? Bread. A lot of byproducts come from wheat. Okay, continue.
And 3 measures of barley for a penny.
And barley. All these are major staple food, wheat and barley. They said the war in Ukraine is stifling the wheat production in Ukraine. They said Ukraine produces a large amount of wheat that's being exported.
Right.
In a lot of the Midwestern states, they produce wheat and barley. Okay? Just the other day, there was a big influx of crickets, and that was eating up all the crops in the Midwest.
That's right. That's right.
And it's some big crickets. It says the size of this figure, this size, big.
Wow.
And he said these crickets, in a matter of no time, eats up all the crops. And they said there's nothing they could do about it.
The World Health Organization put out a statement that there's only 10 weeks of wheat left in the earth.
And that don't think that's a joke. When they put out something like that, that means it's going to be a dictated policy that they're working on.
Wow.
10 weeks, that's what? 70 days?
Done.
That's what? 2 months? 2 months, 2 months and 10 days?
Yeah, 2 months. Yeah.
Wow.
Done.
So you know that's what they're working on. That's why all these processing plants are being burned up and destroyed. So they're working an initiative plan through the working of Satan. Continue.
Shalom. And see thou hurt not the oil
And
and
see
the
that
wine.
you hurt not the oil and the wine. The oil and the wine represents the children of Israel. Okay? The oil and the wine represents the children of Israel. How do we know that? If somebody said, well, look, brother, you just assuming that you just mean the children of Israel, the oil and the wine. Brother, that's the oil is talking about the literal oil and the wine. Well, you could say that too, but the oil and the wine, that's metaphoric. That symbolically represents the children of Israel, the elect of the Most High. All right? And how do we know the oil represents the children of Israel and the wine? Because what was the two main things that the Most High gave us? The oil and the wine. Okay? So let's prove that real quick, and then we come back to Revelation, the 6th chapter. The oil represents the children of Israel. Because what was the oil used for? For anointing and for what?
Light.
And to light the lamps.
Yeah.
Okay? The oil also represents your knowledge and wisdom.
Right.
Remember that in book of Matthew 25, the Most High said there were 10 virgins, 5 was wise, and 5 were foolish, and then they had no oil left in their lamps. So he's giving you a parable of that. Okay? And the wine represents the grapes that we use to drink. Wine was our main beverage. What did Yahushua do when he went to the wedding? He turned the water into wine. Bam! They said, man, you saved the best for last. The best wine, man. Okay? Yes.
Proverbs 6:23. It says, "For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light."
Right. So a lamp uses oil. It's just, those are all parables and metaphors symbolically referring to the children of Israel. All right? Because you need oil for that lamp. All right? Remember the Most High said in Isaiah, so rise, shine, for the light is come. Let's go to that real quick. Let's go to a few scriptures. Let's go to Isaiah 60. Isaiah 60. Isaiah 60. Rise, shine, for the light is come. All right, Isaiah 60 and 1.
Reading from the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 1. Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Most High is risen up upon thee. Salah. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people.
And that's what the people in the earth is in gross darkness. Go ahead.
But the Most High shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee.
All right. Okay, from there now, let's go to Isaiah, the 5th chapter. But actually, jump down. Let me see. Jump down here. That's it. Go to Isaiah. Isaiah, the 5th chapter. Isaiah, the 5th chapter. And start here from read the first verse.
Reading from the book of Isaiah, chapter 5, verse 1. Now will I sing to my well-beloved a song.
See, and the well-beloved represents Israel. Like it says in Peter, to the beloved. All right, go ahead.
A song of my beloved touching his vineyard.
And a vineyard represents what? A vineyard, whether it's grape or olives. That's considered a vineyard. Go ahead.
My well-beloved hath a vineyard in every fruitful hill, and he fenced it and gathered out the stones thereof, and planted it with the choicest vine, and built a tower in the midst of it, and also made a winepress therein.
And a winepress represents what? Wine, grapes. Okay, go ahead.
And he looked that it should bring forth grapes, and it brought forth wild grapes.
What does that mean? They say it brought forth wild grapes.
Unclean.
Right, wickedness. Instead of bringing forth righteous fruits, it brought forth unrighteous fruits, wickedness. All right, read on.
And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem and men of Judah.
See who he's referring to? And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem and men of Judah. Speaking to both Israel, the southern kingdom, and the northern kingdom.
Done.
Continue.
Judge, I pray you, betwixt me and my vineyard.
See, my vineyard. He's calling Israel his vineyard. All right, go ahead.
What could have been done more to my vineyard that I have not done in it? Wherefore, when I looked that it should bring forth grapes, brought it forth wild grapes.
It brought forth wild grapes, bitter, wicked, corrupt. All right, continue.
And now go to, I will tell you what I will do to my vineyard. I will take away the hedge thereof.
What is the hedge?
Protection.
Huh?
Protection.
Right, the protection.
Other
The other nation.